Welcome back, everyone. We've been diving into some fascinating stuff lately, all about the power of faith.
Absolutely.
And, you sent over some super thought-provoking material for this deep dive.
I did.
Yeah, we're going to be checking out a sermon called, get this, Power of Inner Sight from
Okay.
the Rhythms of Grace podcast.
Cool.
Yeah, we're going to get into how belief and imagination, what the sermon calls, inner sight, can unlock some crazy possibilities.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, so let's unpack this thing.
Okay.
The sermon basically starts out with this idea. God's ability to work in our lives is totally connected to our ability to see or imagine what's possible.
Like our inner vision, our inner sight.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a blueprint almost.
Yeah. And it's not just about passively believing,
Yeah.
It's about really picturing the thing you want.
Yeah.
Like really getting into the details.
Blanket details, yeah. Like that story about the prophet Jeremiah.
Oh, yeah.
God's all like, what do you see? And Jeremiah's like, an almond branch.
Yeah.
And God's like, boom, I'm ready to make this happen.
Right. And it's not just, any old almond branch.
It's not.
It was known for blossoming early, a symbol of watchfulness and rapid fulfillment.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So when Jeremiah sees it, it's like he's seeing God's promise about to happen.
About to just explode.
Exactly.
Seeing is believing, and believing is the first step, right?
For sure.
It makes me think of all that manifesting stuff,
Yeah.
like visualizing what you want to attract it into your life.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might think it's a bunch of bologna.
Yeah, wishful thinking.
Yeah, but there's actually research that shows visualization techniques can affect our brains
Wow.
and even change stuff in the real world.
Really?
It's pretty crazy, right?
But yeah. I mean, it's definitely more than just wishing, right?
Yeah.
The sermon connects it to Philemon 1.6, where it talks about faith becoming effective when we acknowledge the good stuff inside us.
Yeah.
And Philemon, by the way, is this really beautiful letter from Paul.
Oh, interesting.
Sticking up for a runaway slave.
Oh, wow.
He's talking to Philemon's faith, saying it gets powerful when we see the potential for good, for change in ourselves and other people.
Okay, so it's about aligning our inner vision with that potential.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever noticed how visualizing a goal, if you're trying to get in shape or get that dream job,
Yeah.
makes it feel more possible?
Oh, totally. It's like you're getting your mind ready for it, you know?
Yeah.
And the sermon takes it even further, right?
Okay.
It says this whole thing applies to our spiritual lives too.
Yeah.
There's this crazy powerful line. God is able to the degree of your sight, the image of your mind. Imagination is key to the ability of our lives to manifest the goodness of God.
Whoa.
Right.
So wait, are we saying that God's power is limited by our ability to imagine?
That's a really interesting question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not so much about putting limits on God,
Okay.
but more about realizing that, our perception, our inner vision kind of filters how we experience God's power.
So if we're full of doubt and fear,
Yeah.
we might miss out on all the good stuff God wants to do.
The sermon seems to think so.
Wow.
And the opposite's true too, right?
No. Yeah.
If we work on seeing hope and possibility,
Yeah.
we open ourselves up to experiencing God's goodness in a much deeper way.
Wow.
Really makes you think.
It does. What if we actually tried to dream bigger?
Yeah.
See more possibilities, not just for ourselves, but for the whole world.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah. That's the challenge, isn't it?
It is.
What are we planting in our minds,
Yeah.
What seeds are we growing hope, possibility, God's goodness at work?
Wow.
What we choose to focus on, what we believe,
Yeah.
it shapes our reality.
This deep dive has been mind-blowing.
It really has.
It reminds us that our minds are so powerful.
They are.
What we see really is what we get.
It's true.
So much to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
See you next time.